First, I just wanted to look out the window. It's snowing again. It's March 28th. Why won't winter quit? You're not wanted anymore. And look at that tree over there. It's starting to stick a little. How is that possible? It's like been relatively warm the past few days. You know, I saw the global warming temperature map this year, and it said that they showed that for almost every place in the world, it was an unusually warm winter, but the Northeast United States is one of the only blue spots that experienced an unusually cold winter again. So apparently, due to global climate change, I happen to live in one of the only regions in the world that actually gets colder winters because of global warming. Alright, so now that little rant over the snow is over, let's get to the Sonic Boom vlog like we do every week. This one is called Soul Power. So let's see. What will be the best and fastest way to summarize this one? Alright, so it starts off with Tails demonstrating his awesome new voice controls for his hovercraft. And the funny thing is that the controls for it are really oddly specific. Like Sonic, Tails tells it to start the engine. Like, okay, I'll start the engine. Sonic asks it to dispense a chocolate shake, and it gives him a shake with like a dollop of whipped cream and everything. Like, oh my god, what does Tails have in there? But then when he gets it, the color's vaguely pink, and he says, and it's implied kind of that it's a strawberry shake. And he says, I want a chocolate. So the thing releases a hose and sprays chocolate on his face. And then Tails says that there's a towel back at the workshop. So, the towel is in the workshop. You couldn't voice control a towel to come out of the glove box too? But did you have no room for a towel in the storage space because of the machine that makes your milkshakes? So when Sonic runs off, there's this unpleasant sound. It's like, it kind of sounds like the Inception noise, except it's drawn out, like someone just playing a loud, annoying bass tone on their stereo. So the thing makes the voice controls in the hovercraft go crazy and it starts driving around. And Tails is about to fall into that volcanic pit from the first episode where they first confronted Burnbot. But Sonic, after toweling his face off, manages to catch up and saves Tails. So he makes this funny quip like, voice controls don't really do very well when you're screaming. Oh crap, the TV. Right. Aha, sorry about that. I had a tape pause, and when you leave a tape pause, it automatically stops. And when it stops, the audio from the TV kicks in. Ooh, that did not look pleasant. I think I'm just gonna turn the TV off because it's distracting. Okay, so, where was I? Oh yeah. So, Tails says that the only reason the voice controls went crazy was because of some weird sound that Sonic made when he ran. But Sonic said he couldn't hear the sound because he runs faster than the speed of sound, meaning he outruns the noise that he makes. You know, this always made me wonder why the sonic booms that he generates aren't more of an issue. I guess a sonic boom is proportional to the size and weight of the object that's actually breaking the sound barrier. For example, several bullets break the sound barrier, but we hardly ever notice their sonic booms. Then again, the tip of a whip, the crack of a whip, that's the tip of it exceeding the speed of sound, and that's its own mini sonic boom. So Sonic should make a noticeable boom when he runs. I guess he's just small enough that the boom isn't big enough to be, you know, like glass shattering and home decor damaging. Alright, so Tails takes Sonic and they do a little montage of a medical montage to see if he can find out what's making this noise. And it turns out that Sonic doesn't have to be running to make the noise, because he also makes a noise when he's working on an exercise cycle. So it's not just from his moving, it's just from him using his speed. Also, they had that little funny reflex joke where Tails hits his knee with the reflex testing mallet, and there's no, he doesn't do anything. And then at a later point in the montage, when he's listening to Sonic's heartbeat, his leg suddenly kicks out. I didn't peg Sonic for the delayed reaction type. I mean, he's Sonic. If anything, his reflexes should be super fast. And also the background music they played, it sounds like a remix of the music from Push It to the Limit. Although they never really get to it. So Tails says that he can't diagnose a problem, and for now he has to not use his speed until they can at least figure out what's going on. So we go off to another beach volleyball thing, because they love to play beach volleyball on this show. But Sonic forgot the ball, so he's gonna run back to his house to grab the ball, but he realizes he can't run, so he has to walk. They did do an episode of the original Sad AM cartoon where Dr. Robotnik had set up a speed-sensing radar so that whenever Sonic would use his speed, it would engineer like a laser or a lightning bolt or something to shoot in his location. So in order to get past it, Sonic had to walk at a normal pace, and he actually finds this tiring. I think Sonic is like a kangaroo in that respect. Fun science fact, because of the way they move, it actually takes a kangaroo much less energy to move fast than it does for them to move slow. This is because when they're moving fast, each one of their strides is like 20 or 30 feet, while when they move slow, they have to take each step. Just a fun little science fact about conservation of energy in speedy mammals. So they go through this long, drawn-out walking montage, making it look like he's going this huge distance, when in actuality it's just, he's just like walked 15 feet to pick the ball up. And that's a perceptual filter. We aren't actually seeing things in real time, we're just seeing Sonic as he perceives the world when he's not running. So we're getting into his head. Okay, so before they can actually start playing the volleyball game, a bunch of crab meats attack, and Sonic can't fight them off because whenever he uses his speed, the noise irritates everybody. So he just kind of sits on a bench and watches as everyone else is fighting the robots. But then he like starts sounding commentary like use your spin dash move. That's your move, not mine. I gave away my position. And like, Amy, use your secret triple backflip maneuver. And when she tries to do it, the crab meat grabs her foot because it saw the move coming. And like, in a lot of shows, they shout out the name of their attack as they make it. And why would you do that? Like, I'm gonna punch you in the face. Like, I now know exactly how to block that. It reminds me of that episode of the original Dragon Ball where Goku was using his Jenkin attack techniques against Jackie Chun. He's like Jenkin, paper, rock, scissors. My Jenkin attacks didn't work on you. I trained in Jenkin attacks. Oh yeah, Jenkin, paper. Psh! Ah! You said paper, but attacked with rock. Like, why would you shout out the name of your technique? Like if you're going to shout out any technique names while you're attacking, shout out random techniques that you're not actually doing. Like ball kick maneuver, face punch maneuver, Anyway, the point is, the technique gets pre-named, the robot therefore knows exactly how to defend against it. So eventually, they just tie Sonic to a tree so he can't interfere anymore. Oh, by the way, they do a Knuckles' stupid gag like, enemies at 6 o'clock. I can't do 6 o'clock. I have tickets to the opera. And like, opera? Oh, no, wait, that's someone else. Oh, and here I thought Knuckles was actually going to get a little bit of culture for once. Yes, the show never ceases to disappoint me with what they've done with Knuckles' character. I'd just like to see one episode where Knuckles is actually anything other than a big, muscly Patrick Star type character. Okay, so like, you don't have to make him smart. Just give him some kind of interest or hobby beyond like weightlifting or something. really anything. Like if he's a stamp collector, or you know what, treasure hunting. You don't have to be particularly smart to be a treasure hunter, and that's something that the old Knuckles was, a treasure hunter. Give him that back. And that's the thing. He can go. Amy, she has her artifact tracking device, so she can combine her love of archaeology and he can have his treasure hunting. They can go do stuff together. All right, so after the robots are defeated, Sonic finds Dr. Eggman lying on one of the beach chairs eating popcorn. He says that he didn't actually instigate the attack. It's just that when Cubot and Orbot were cleaning up, they accidentally hit a button. So it's like this entire attack happened and he wasn't even really needed. So he's starting to feel a little bit of a funk. And Sonic says he knows how he can feel because he's not needed. So Dr. Eggman says that he can take him back to the lab and diagnose what's wrong with him. Everyone's against this, but Sonic says, hey, he's Dr. Eggman. He's hardly evil. Frankly, I'd hardly call Dr. Eggman trustworthy, but would he really hurt you? None of his evil machinations are actually terminally injurious to anybody. So they go back to the lab, and he runs around and makes a noise, and Dr. Eggman says that it's an imbalance between the energy he produces when he's running and his body mass. And that's what's producing the sound. So he gives him some noise-canceling shoes that have power-absorbing soles that'll absorb the energy and allow him to run silently again. So he puts his shoes on, and it works. The high tops prevent the noise. So he goes back, and the guys are playing volleyball, and he comes back and he volleys to himself just to show off that he got his speed back. But then a giant robot comes in. Eggman says, "I'd like to meet my new creation, Giant Robot." I haven't had a chance to name him yet. I think it's mostly the same kind of robot that was Megabot and all those other giant robots from the past, but hey, they already invested the 3D model to make Sonic with the new shoes. They're not going to go ahead and make a new giant robot model. That would just be silly. So Sonic tries to attack it, but it has these shields that come up, so it can block off every attack. So it turns out that Dr. Eggman actually made Sonic produce that noise somehow. Actually, he's going to explain how he did it with a presentation. Like, he's prepared a PowerPoint presentation, the hovering robot thing, and he throws it out so that he can project the hologram and tell everyone what he did. But Amy, not wanting to put up with this crap, just smashes it with her hammer. Like, do you know how long it took me to make that presentation? I made a presentation about it. It turns out that the shoes that Sonic is wearing are actually, the noise cancelling feature is actually gathering energy from Sonic's footsteps and beaming them to the robot. So essentially, Sonic's speed is powering the robot. That means that Sonic can't fight it. But even when he's not running, the robot still receives power, because Sonic has stored up so much kinetic energy in the shoes that even though he's not running anymore, there's still plenty of energy to beam to the robot. So Sonic defeats the robot by running so much that he generates so much energy that the robot and the shoes lose the ability to store it, and it simply overloads and blows up. So Sonic says, "Alright, now Sonic is gonna go off for a run." And he goes off for a run, and Eggman's like, "Huh, is it just me, or is it creepy when he speaks to himself in the third person?" Yeah, earlier in the episode, Amy told Sonic to stop referring to himself in the third person because it's creepy. And apparently Eggman shares that sentiment. I'm waiting for the episode where Eggman and Amy, become friends. I saw it at the Sonic Boom event. They did a preview of it. There will be an episode where Eggman and Amy become friends for some reason. I think it has something to do with a My Little Pony type thing from their universe. Okay, so this episode, this is a typical episode. It's maintained the standard of good quality that the show has done so far. It hardly stands out, and there's a little bit of a plot hole where Dr. Eggman never actually gets to explain how he rigged Sonic to produce a weird noise when he runs. But, Tails diagnosed him. It couldn't be like he snuck in a little noisemaker that makes a huge bass tone when wind passes through it, because Tails would have identified that during the medical exam. So I don't know what Dr. Eggman did to Sonic, but I don't know. But I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, it would be like having to explain every time your characters eat a meal or go to the bathroom in a show. Like sometimes you just have to set something up and let them react to it. Huh. Oh, by the way, I repainted my strong arm. See, she's much more show accurate now with the white striping and the shoe marks and her bumpers are painted. I couldn't paint her helmet though. I could put that white stripe down the middle and I painted her lips, but I just couldn't paint the rest of her helmet. There's just not enough guidelines in there to follow the sculpt. So her head is still blue. Actually, let me show off her vehicle mode. I'm not gonna make you sit through the transformation. See? See, she has like a grill now, and all the little lights are picked out. She has black bumpers. I painted the shapes on the back. See, this just looks so much better. It looks much less like a play school toy now, more like an actual thing. Only flaw is the blue paint that I have wasn't a match for her original blue. Fortunately, this little stripe on her hood was the only part of it, so it's the only incongruity in the whole thing. Still looks good. I still like it. And you don't even really notice that in robot mode because these are just her arms. Yay! Alright, so I have one more custom video to make before the month is out, and I will see you guys next week for the next Sonic Boom vlog.